Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I am Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Wednesday, November 27th. I am thankful for all of y'all that tune in to this show, that support the channel, that support GenJag, whether it's, again, via watching these, listening to these shows, checking out GenJag.com/shop, becoming a channel member, whatever it is that you do to support. I really appreciate it. And wanted to talk about, what do the Jaguars fans have to be thankful for in this season of giving thanks? It is Thanksgiving tomorrow, so that's what we're going to take a look at right now. We're not going to take a look at any of the negatives, which I know that we do that a lot around here because, for obvious reasons, right? But today we're talking about what Jaguars fans have to be thankful for. Again, really appreciate y'all's support. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you enjoy the content. Let me know what you're thankful for in the comment section below. So I think we've got a nice little list of things Jaguars fans can be thankful for here. One, the city of Jacksonville, your hometown for a lot of you, local fans, has a football team. And that's not going to change for a very, very long time, if ever, right? The city of Jacksonville has a professional football team, one of 32 teams, right, that has a professional football team. And this is a city, a region, in Florida, Southeast, that loves football. They are rabid football fans here in Jacksonville, as you can see by the fact that even when the team is absolutely horrible, there's still a lot of teal. There might be a lot of other colors in that stadium, but there's still a lot of teal. A lot of fans showing up. This is a town that is football obsessed. Again, a state and a region that's football obsessed. And the Jaguars are one of these few cities across the country that have a football team, and it's going to stay that way. The Jaguars signed a 30-year agreement, right? They're not going anywhere. They're building a stadium of the future. It's going to be on top of the current stadium. And it's going to look unrecognizable. The new stadium will be. It's going to have a roof. It's going to be open air still, but it's going to have a roof. It's going to look, the design has kind of been based loosely on what they have out in LA for the Rams and the Chargers, which is one of the coolest stadiums I've ever seen. So the Jaguars have a new stadium coming. They have a team that is going to stay in Jacksonville for a very, very long time. And I think that's absolutely something to be thankful for. Because whether they're good, whether they're bad, they are here. And I think that means a lot. The Jaguars, Jacksonville, is the second smallest market in the NFL to Green Bay. It's a small market. And when you are a small market team in a league like the NFL that is money driven, that is popularity driven, it can be difficult to hold on. When Wayne Weaver sold this football team, shout out to Wayne Weaver for getting this team here and everybody that was involved in that. The city thought that they might get the Colts in the 80s. It didn't happen. You get awarded an expansion franchise in 93, start playing football in 95. When Wayne Weaver sold this football team, he sold it to someone who had every intention of keeping it in Jacksonville. And that's what Shad Khan has done. The Jaguars are staying in Jacksonville. And had a different person bought the team, perhaps that wouldn't be the case. There's been so much talk about the Jaguars leaving Jacksonville. And it's because they're a tiny market comparatively to other NFL markets. And for them to be sticking around, for them to have already been here for 30 years and now have 30 more years on the horizon is special. It really is. It's awesome. 2, thanks for the memories, right? There's been a lot of bad football in Jacksonville, but there's been some great football too. I mean, the late 90s, and I know a lot of folks can't even remember, I don't remember the 95 season, really. I was 4 years old, but, 98, 99, I remember those very well. Obviously, there's some bittersweet memories in both of those seasons. But being able to watch Tony Baselli in his prime, being able to watch Fred Taylor as a rookie score 17 touchdowns, only didn't win Rookie of the Year because Randy Moss was just, Randy Moss, going to go down as one of the best wide receivers of all time. So many great players. Mark Brunell, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell, Maurice Jones-Drew. That's getting into a new era. But like the first 15 years of this franchise were really, I don't want to say unprecedented amount of success because they didn't win a Super Bowl, but they went to 2 AFC titles in their first 5 years as a franchise. And then even after Tom Coughlin, the roster kind of got out of hand with the spending on free agency and Tom Coughlin got fired and they moved on from Mark Brunell, the Jaguars still stayed relevant. Jack Del Rio got them to the playoffs a couple times. Even in the year, like throughout most of Jack Del Rio's tenure, it was still just a really, really strong defense with a really good running game. And you had an identity, and it was fun. And the really good memories haven't been as frequent since Shad Khan bought the team. But man, 2017, what an unbelievable ride that was. That was so much fun. Whether it be Leonard Fournette being a rookie and being able to bust off some unbelievably long runs, beating the Steelers twice in Pittsburgh again. Blake Bortles having a career year, which was a lot of fun. The boat, Keelan Cole. That defense, goodness gracious, that defense. Saxonville, Calais Campbell, who should still be a Jaguar, let's be real. Like, they've had multiple opportunities to bring him back. He's still playing great football. I get why they moved on at the time, although, they probably shouldn't have. But it was a team that was trying to rebuild, trying to get young. Calais Campbell had an expensive contract. They got a little bit of trade value back. I get it. They probably should have just kept him the whole time. Honestly. He's been a darn good football player. But Calais, Unique, and Dante, they had a formidable edge rush. They had Malik Jackson. Marcel Darius coming in and making a big difference. Jalen Ramsey playing great football. AJ Bouye, oh my goodness. His season in 2017 is maybe the best cornerback season we've seen in Jacksonville. And that's saying a lot because there's been some great corners here. That was incredible. The linebackers, Telvin, Miles Jack was not down. Sorry, I had to put Murray down. She's acting a fool a little bit right now. But yeah, that was incredible. And then, halfway through 2022 to more than halfway through 2023 was absolutely unbelievable. It was one of the best rides the Jaguars fans have been able to be on. You go scorched earth down the stretch with Trevor Lawrence leading the way in 2022. You make the playoffs. You have maybe the best playoff comeback of all time. And then you take the Chiefs to the wire. And then the next season you come out and you start 8-3 and then you fall apart. It was far from a perfect 8-3. We all know that. But there's been some memories. And hopefully they're able to make a lot more positive memories. But you can be thankful for the memories here in Jacksonville for sure. And then, the next thing I have here is be thankful for Trevor Lawrence. I know a lot of folks aren't, but you should be. This is a guy that, in my opinion, strong opinion, how did 2022 happen down the stretch? Trevor Lawrence put the team on his back and said, let's go. That's how it happened. He figured it out. He got it together. And he played great, great football for the Jacksonville Jaguars back half of 2022 and even to start 2023. People forget how well Trevor Lawrence was playing last year before he got injured. And then he was battling through injury and he probably shouldn't have been playing. And, to me, you put that on the coaching staff because, look, sometimes you just got to sit a guy down who's not healthy. And now Trevor Lawrence is signed on forever, pretty much. Big mega quarterback contract deal for Trevor Lawrence. He is a consummate professional. He is a leader. He is a good ambassador for the football team, and he's great in the community. Trevor Lawrence is the face of the franchise, and he's the type of face of the franchise the Jaguars have been searching for most of their existence. He's got all the physical tools. He has shown tremendous development throughout his young career. Still a very young football player. He had to battle through it in year one. He had to, find his footing in year two under Doug Peterson, have a great stretch run in 2022, played great in 2023 until he got injured. And then this year, he's played good football. There's been some mistakes at times by Trevor Lawrence, but honestly, he's been one of the 2 or 3 best players on the team this year. I know that's not saying as much as you would like it to mean because there's been issues this year across the board. Drops, poor offensive line play, poor play calling, defense can't get a stop, all these things. And look, Trevor Lawrence, again, has not been blameless this year, but that is a pillar for a franchise. That is a player, a quarterback that probably 20 to 25 other coaches, if they could have all things being equal, they would take Trevor Lawrence over what they have in their situation. Trevor Lawrence is absolutely a quarterback to be thankful for. We're going to get into the rest of this list first. Got to remind y'all to check out Underdog Fantasy for Pick'em and a whole lot more. You can use code Duval Daily on their easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. This season, Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day. Like Profit Boost, you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. There are tons of options for Jaguars and Texans coming up. Maybe you want to pick a running back to score against the Jaguars. Underdog has vulture protection to rescue your pick'em. So, pick a running back, they get vultured. Underdog will rescue your pick'em there. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Duval Daily to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 90 plus, Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. So, the rest of this list of things to be thankful for. Beyond Trevor Lawrence, there is still a lot of exciting talent on this football team. Josh Hines-Allen is on his second contract. He's playing great football for the Jaguars. Tyson Campbell is on his second contract. He's playing very, very good football for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Foye Oluokun is on his third contract in the NFL, second contract with the team. Playing great football. You have leaders at all 3 levels of the defense to build around for the future, right? You got to love that. You have Trayvon Walker on the defensive front as well you can get excited about. He's been playing very good football too. And then offensively, how about Brian Thomas Jr.? What a revelation. What a great pick. Trent Baalke, you did it. Congratulations. You actually picked a good wide receiver for the first time in your career. Brian Thomas Jr. and the pairing of Brian Thomas Jr. with Trevor Lawrence is something to get excited about for the future. Tank Bigsby's ability to run in between the tackles, be powerful, physical, but also creative and explosive. He's somebody to get excited about. There's a lot of young talent on this football team and veteran talent that has the opportunity, if the Jaguars do things right this offseason, to really get back to where they should be very quickly. The leadership is there, the talent is there, the quarterback is there. You need the coaching and you need the leadership from above the football team, right? Like within the 53-man roster, there is quality leadership. Above, I'm not so sure about that. So the rest of this young and exciting talent on this football team, absolutely something to be thankful for. Look, Shad Khan has not gotten it right, despite believing he has, with the football side of things. And I believe that's because there's a lack of accountability day to day within this operation. But he is an owner that will spare no expense. And you see so many teams across the league that wish their teams would do more, whether that be from a business standpoint, whether that be from a stadium, roster construction. Shad Khan is always willing to spend as much as he possibly can to help improve this franchise. Always. Free agency. He's willing to write huge signing bonuses that get prorated over the length of contracts so they can be as active in free agency as they possibly can be. Spending on the facilities, right? Like he built Miller Electric Center. Before that, he did the unbelievable scoreboards. Before that, he did, or he's done Daly's Place. He's done the swimming pools. He's done the North End Zone. He did the flex field. Like he is constant. And I mean, he's trying to improve the situation around the stadium as well. Constantly pouring resources into downtown, into this franchise. And he hasn't gotten it right with the leadership at the top yet. You're hopeful that he can. It's not for lack of trying, right? So he's got to find some people that can help him make football decisions. He hasn't done that yet, but he will spare no expense. And that's something to be thankful for. He's going to keep trying, right? And then finally, the future. I've talked about the past, the memories, but the future is very exciting. We kind of touched on it already, but it is exciting. A new stadium, going to be finished in 2028. That thing is going to be a monument to football. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome. It's going to provide shade during September, right? The football team, as I've talked about, I think that there's a lot to get excited about from a football standpoint, roster talent standpoint. Just got to improve the leadership and the coaching. Got to improve the personnel decision makers, right? And you say, well, if you have talent, why do you need to improve the personnel decision makers? Because with the amount of resources that this front office has been provided, the team should be even better than it is, right? From a roster standpoint, there's still too many holes. There's still too many roster management whiffs. And again, front office, GM, it's not just about personnel. It's also about leadership. I think they have a severe lack of that at the top. So change obviously needed, but there's a lot to get excited about with the football team that they currently have. There's a lot to get excited about with the stadium of the future. And then if there is the change that you hope for, you have $60+ million in salary cap space for 2025. You can quickly address your needs. You have a boatload of draft capital. You currently hold the number 1 overall pick. The future can be bright in Jacksonville. It absolutely can be. And that's something to be thankful for. So that's going to do it here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, like the hat I'm wearing right now. You can become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one and happy Thanksgiving.